First Coast's most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
This fairly large, significant rainmaker and storm system, really the whole way across the country, pretty much since really Monday morning. It's brought sleet and freezing rain and snow to portions of the southern plains and upper Midwest. Places like Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas saw a coating of freezing rain, now just kind of icing the entire portion of that part of the country. Snow to portions of Missouri, Kentucky, and even further northward up into kind of the Ohio River Valley. For us, we've just seen a pretty cold, steady rain here throughout the majority of the day today. So for the most part, much of our rain is now coming to an end. You can kind of see the small cluster of thunderstorms that was firing up there in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, kind of heading off to the south and southeast. So places like Tampa, Fort Myers, seeing a little bit of some heavier downpours tonight, and now Orlando also kind of getting a wave of some heavier moisture. But for the most part, our precipitation, at least heavy-wise, is now subsiding. There are just kind of some fine mist and drizzle coming across southeast Georgia right now. So really north of the state line, you're talking Folkston, Waycross, Nahunta, Brunswick even, really just kind of seeing a fine mist, primarily due to the backside of this system swinging on through. Temperatures continuing to drop, northerly wind as well. So it's going to continue to stay a fairly kind of damp, cool evening throughout the remainder of tonight. But some of us really did pick up some beneficial rainfall. The first half of February has been very, very dry. We've had temperatures about 10 degrees above average, really through about the first 2 weeks of the month. You factor that in with then almost no rain. We've only seen about 1/10 of an inch up until this point. So it has been warm. It has been dry. So a lot of us can take at least, a half inch to a full inch of rain across a large portion of the First Coast. So this is just kind of radar estimated rain totals here over the past 24 hours. You can see places like Waycross and Lake City having the higher totals. Closer you get to the coast, a lot of the rain and moisture just kind of wrung itself out and kind of dried out as it moved closer to the coastline. So here are some official totals from some of our local airports and regional airports. So Waycross takes the top spot, 0.77 inches, so about 3/4 of an inch there. Brunswick, similar story. Lake City, right around about a half inch officially at their regional airport out there. And then the Jacksonville International Airport coming in at 0.37. So it certainly wasn't a full-on soaker of a day, but we did get a nice steady rain to at least keep that ground surface a little bit more moist for any gardeners or planters who are starting to put out some of their springtime flowers out there. Now, temperature-wise, I said it's been a cool afternoon and evening. We only hit about 60, 61 degrees in Jacksonville earlier today, now down into the mid-50s. The winds have shifted out of the north and northeast, so it's going to continue to pull in much colder and even drier air than overnight tonight and into tomorrow. So that's just going to add an extra chill in the air. And you'll notice that here as we look ahead kind of on the future radar or the future cast, the winds continue to really shift that direction out of the north, then out of the northwest. So that's really going to advect in a lot of cold, polar, dry air that a lot of folks further off to our north have really been experiencing now for about the last 12 to 18, even 24 hours in some locations. So drier skies expected tomorrow as our temperatures will continue to drop. And I really just want to take a quick look at how cold some of these temperatures are well off to our north. You think, 56 in Jacksonville, yeah, that's a chilly evening. You could be in Topeka, Kansas, 8 degrees there, 0 in Bismarck, North Dakota. So this is truly a continental polar, continental Arctic air mass that has slid its way down across the central part of the country, is now extending eastward and southeastward towards us. Even Little Rock sitting at 28 degrees. Now, that's just the actual air temperature. When you factor in the wind chill, and you'll have to forgive me, I didn't change the temperatures kind of headline title there on the top. It feels like -10 in Bismarck right now. Feels like the teens in Dallas, 16 degrees for, mid to late February. That's kind of a rare event for this time of the year, especially for that part of the country. So we are going to be experiencing not nearly that cold of weather, but a little bit of a feel of that winter blast, especially as we head towards the end of your work week. So throughout the day tomorrow, yes, clouds will clear on out. Temperatures will be on the cooler side, mid-50s for many of us, but also going to be a fairly breezy day throughout the morning and into the afternoon. Winds out of the northwest anywhere from about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts closer to about 20 for the Jacksonville area. I think some locations northward could see gusts pushing closer to about 25 degrees. So although the air temperature will be in the mid-50s, it'll really feel like the low 50s and even the upper 40s for areas like Charlton County, Ware, Pierce, Brantley counties. Going to be feeling like the 40s nearly all day tomorrow. And then overnight tomorrow night and into early Friday morning, it is going to be another frigid day. These are going to be some temperatures that we have not seen yet so far in the month of February. It's really been since we saw that winter storm back in January that we've had some temperatures approaching this level of cold. So a freeze watch has already been issued across western Duval County, western Clay and Putnam, and then Union, Bradford, Columbia, Baker County, and all of our southeast Georgia counties are included in this freeze watch that goes in from Thursday night until Friday morning. So really kind of think about midnight until 8 to 9 a.m. Friday morning. That freeze watch is going to be in effect. This will eventually become a freeze warning. So because of that and the potential to not only see freezing temperatures, but also sub-freezing wind chills across a large swath of the First Coast, we have issued a weather impact alert that goes from 2 until 9 a.m. Friday morning. So when you're putting the kiddos out on the bus, you're heading out to work, or maybe your kids have to walk to a bus pickup stop, or maybe just walk off to school, make sure that you're dressed warm, protect them, and protect any of the plants that you may have already planted as we kind of head closer and closer toward the spring season. So here's a quick look at what some of those morning lows are going to look like, or perhaps feel like come Friday morning. Right around freezing for the Jacksonville area. I think a little bit warmer closer to the coastline. You're talking upper 30s and lower 40s pretty much from Mayport down through St. Augustine and even down towards Flagler Beach. But areas west and north, so really the west side over towards Cecil and then out through Baker County, so Sanderson, McClenny, Lake City, upper 20s. Across much of southeast Georgia, upper 20s. And then you factor in that northerly or northwesterly breeze. Wind chills are going to feel like the low to mid 20s across many of our southeast Georgia counties, and really mid to upper 20s for most of Duval County as well. Now, I do think winds could pick up a little bit more so closer to the coast. So from Mayport down to Jax Beach and Ponte Vedra Beach, that northeast breeze traversing over the ocean could see gusts upwards of about 20 to 25. So that might actually move the wind chill a little bit closer in some of those places to what it will likely be in northern Duval County and the Jacksonville airport, which is where most of our data typically comes from. When you see that Jacksonville on the map, it comes from the airport. So big takeaway here. I mean, it's going to be a frigid start Friday morning. Temperatures in the low 30s. Wind chills in the 20s. And then you factor into the afternoon. I mean, highs are going to probably struggle to get out of the upper 40s. Our high is going to be right around about 50, 51 degrees. It's not going to be a windy day, but there will be just enough of a north breeze that wind chills are going to be pretty much stuck in the 40s nearly all day long there on Friday. So it is going to be a blustery, kind of just cold, kind of almost miserable end to the work week here. Now, we will have plenty of sunshine on Friday. As we head into the weekend, yes, the temperatures are going to rebound a little bit, back up into the low 60s by Saturday, mid 60s by Sunday. But it won't necessarily be the sunniest weekend. We're going to have kind of a mix of mid and high level clouds and some low clouds moving in off the Atlantic coast there, particularly on Sunday. So because of that, you might just see one or two stray sprinkles. That's kind of why we have about a 25 to 30% chance for some rain on Sunday. I know there's a lot of outdoor activities this weekend. We've got the Jacksonville College Baseball Classic happening over at VyStar Ballpark. We've got the World of Nations over at the Tailgater Parking. We've got the Seawalk Music Festival over at the Seawalk Pavilion in Jackson Beach. So a lot of outdoor things happening. I certainly wouldn't let the chance for a few sprinkles or maybe just 1 or 2 stray showers deter you from going to any of those. I definitely don't think it's going to be a washout or anything like that. Really just kind of looking a bit unsettled, but really not a ton of rain on the way. And really, today was our last best chance of rain for almost about a week here. Because after that, first half of next week, I mean, it's going to look gorgeous. We're going to be back to looking and feeling much more like spring. Back up to near 70 degrees potentially by Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, yes, our temperatures are going to soar into the mid-70s. So a nice big warm-up on the way there for the middle of next week. And then just kind of a looking ahead past that. There are some precursors kind of in some of the longer range forecasts showing that we could see another fairly strong front move in by the end of next week. So that's talking, 8 to 9, even 10 days out. So think next Friday, perhaps, next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, somewhere in that time frame, we could see our next cold front, not only meaning another chance for some rain and storms, but also another drop in the temperatures, maybe back down into the 60s or even the 50s, which would impact any runners for the Gate River Run next Saturday. So not this coming Saturday, but the following one on March 1st. So that's still a long ways out. So at least for now, the rain continues to move out this evening. Mid-50s tomorrow. We've got that weather impact alert on Friday morning. Bitterly cold temperatures. You're taking the dog for a walk Friday morning. Be sure you're bundled up. And then after that, just kind of a gradual warm-up through the weekend and then continuing into next week. So I appreciate you tuning in and watching here this evening. Again, I am meteorologist Ross Mumal. Hopefully you stay dry today, stay warm the next several days. And as always, take care.